just walked a dog and noticed that my neighbor, who's also a client, was delivered flowers to the other client's address. So just dropped off the flowers to the other client. So I was like, well, it's sitting here. I could give it to her. Like, I've taken care of both people's homes and dogs before, and often they will accept packages for each other. So it's like, I guess I'll just, take it on over, because I noticed that the client whose gift it is, seemed to be at home at this hour. So it's like, I'll run it over really quick. So anyway, just taking a little stroll after a dinner time walk for Leo and two cats dinner feed type situation. Klaus and Glea, two black cats. Leo, I don't know, he's a mix. He's one of these dogs that has little white paws and he's brown. And I actually don't know what the breed is, but we see these dogs often depicted in imagery. Anyway, he's a little older, so getting him around the block or what have you. Right. Anyway, so normally when I walk dogs from a certain area, I'll often walk up here. This is Delancey Street, but I didn't do that with Leo. He's older and only does so much. I have to use treats to bribe him to walk around the block. So we are on Delancey 1800 block, heading towards wherever. I just decided to take a walk afterwards in the western direction, because during sunset, shadow wise, it's always good to walk towards the sun. So in the morning, it's good to walk east towards the sunrise. Anyway, I just saw on Facebook that Barbra Streisand is 83 years old, and her birthday was recently or today. I don't know, because Facebook rolls out these things and it's like you don't know how old the posts are, and I couldn't tell like if her birthday was in the past few days. But I remember a couple weeks ago or a week ago feeling like singing Don't Rain on My Parade, da, 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 da. So that's Barbra Streisand. I forget the theater or play that it was from, or musical would be the appropriate word. But she made her rise came from what I understand. Was she in New York or Hollywood? In my mind, she's a New York broad per se, who sort of rose through the ranks of the neighborhood. So she did a lot of nightclubs in probably Greenwich Village or similar. That's what's in my mind. Or she was in some major city where, in a way, her rise, the star, bloomed out of the neighborhood-ish ranks. And then she went on to do a lot, things that were much bigger, movies, everything. In fact, she was in a movie that kind of shows something that could fit into weird stuff that happens to people. In a way, it's crowd stalking. Some people call it orchestrated harassment. But she was single, and she was tired of being single. But the types of people who came along who would have made, who were willing to go out with her or whatever, date her, weren't exactly her cup of tea. So, she, would reject a person here or there. And there was one guy she kind of, sloughed off or what have you. And she goes out one day, and all these people are walking out there, couples, hand in hand, all over the place, including the guy she rejected. And it's that old story, and you see this a lot in movies. The person you rejected because it's like you just weren't, a good match. They show up with someone new, and they seem to be totally in love, and they're getting married, and they're going to have kids. And it's designed to make the person who originally said, no, that's okay. It's designed to make that person feel like she made the wrong decision. You know, this isn't a movie for her, but that is part of orchestrated harassment. It can get really weird out here. And it's like, oh, you went to the orientation to become a speech pathologist, but you decided not to go down that path. Then 50 million speech pathologists, including ads for speech pathology, a documentary about a successful speech pathologist, shows up in your world within a week to make you feel bad about rejecting something that could have brought you a good income. So, and that is a form of orchestrated harassment, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll wait here. So say you're 5'2" and you've always had a weight issue and you have to work 10 times harder than other people to keep it in check, right? And you're met with this, okay? A millennial lookalike, okay? That's all I have to say. So it looks like a parade tonight because everybody's, you know, off of work, off of shift, walking around, what have you. Should we go this way? Just ignore him. He's part of the.
Like, no one has a camera. Like, everyone's walking.
Is he Pete Monzingo's people? So anyway, orchestrated harassment again. The weird part is sometimes I've been out here, I got slammed. We are talking, I was slammed so bad that that's intended to kill someone. We are so not kidding. We are sitting here in 2025, still recovering from 2011 and the 7 years after that of full-on, constant orchestrated harassment. So we just passed a guy who had to, on purpose, had to be a little annoying as if he knew I'd be walking in this direction already. Because some people, it gets weird. It's like, how would they know that I took this path? You know, I'm happy to sort of show you what happens along the way, sort of like Groundhog Day in that movie. And this guy is showing every day the same people keep rolling out, playing out the same thing. Groundhog's a little different because it's like people are in a loop and they can't change. But in a way, people who gang stalk or orchestrate harass around you, they can't change. They cannot figure out how to be different. They can't get a life. So anyway, I thought of Pete Monzingo only because that guy reminded me of him, his similar look, if you will. I actually like Pete Monzingo. He's a YouTuber who, you know, does a lot of skits to kind of, in a way, he's educating about sensitivity towards others and kind of showing like what's normal in people's lives, family-wise or otherwise. It's like that's normal that people do this, you know. That's why people are called influencers, you know, on YouTube often. They will show, you thought when you got a dog that it was going to be super easy. This is normal. You'll have barf, you'll have diarrhea, you're going to, and, you know, they'll rip up your carpets and, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on when you have a dog. You could get really lucky, maybe, you know, with a well-trained dog or a dog that just, you know, doesn't get sick or whatever, but somewhere in 12, 13, 14 years of having a dog, there's going to be incidents, particularly if you get puppies, you know, and people don't really know that that's normal. It's just like kids. People forget that certain behaviors are normal and you want everything to be perfect. You don't want to have to put up to too much of a hassle